There we go. All right. No, god damn it. And of course it made this shut off. Hey, if you're here, you can watch me fumble around with crap. No, not you though. You stay there. I swear to God, stay there. Swear to God. I need something really heavy. That isn't this, because that's just not working. Oh well. We're gonna roll with it. Oh. Like, why don't I see anybody? Because I forgot to put the chat up. Docs. Controls, chat. There we go. There's quite the little delay. Hello, Haley Bay. Hello, Rookies Wooby. Well, I can put a little heart in here myself. Nope. No, I can't. Never mind. How do I fix this? Make it go away. Good God, it's my own chat, for Christ's sakes. Can I go back? Yes. Lords. Hello, everyone! So sorry. I think I was actually on time this time, though, to be fair. Stuff may or may not fall over. I have a new desk. I'm still getting used to it. I also have a new setup that I'm going to give a shot for the rune reading. I'm skeptical, so we'll see how that one turns out. And that's pretty much it. Amber graciously put out a new video right before I got home today. So that's nice. I figure we'll go over that. Oh, Midori Gale, hello. Iona, hello. I love that name. I'm eating Junior Mints. All right. I have almost everything set up. Almost being the keyword. Nope, that one. You would think. You would be wrong. I'm so scared of my other I have 2 cameras today. So we'll see. Kids. Where'd you go, Amber? I know nothing about this one. I'm sure other people have watched it already because it dropped like 3 hours ago. So I know nothing. Let's see, put that there. Put that there. Cool. What time is it? 7:35. All right, we're good. I figure we'll get started about 7:40-ish, 7:45-ish. And I am occasionally spraying air freshener because cats. That's why. If you know, you know. Do you like the lighting? It has, I don't know. I have the same itty tiny, I have a ring light that's roughly this big. But it works pretty well. And it's got the warm and cold settings, or it'll do warm and cool together. I have it set on warm right now. But I also strung up some Halloween themed Christmas lights inside of the desk. So it kind of lights up the inside of the desk. So there you go. That's why it looks so nice. All right then. And my headset's trying to escape. Don't do it. This camera and I are going to have words before the end of the night. I think I'm set up though. The only thing I need is the questions that the members posted. I think there's 3 questions altogether. How are we doing? Oh, that's kind of cool. So there's 4 of you. 15 of you watching. I see you. I don't, though. Let's see. Questions. Shelley Daly put that one down. Where's the other one? Nope, that's not what I want. That's not what I want either. Contents. Go to posts. Yeah? Yes. I'm learning. What comments? That doesn't matter. All right, so the questions we're going to be working on, because there's not really that many. Iona wants to know what the relationship between her and Jade is going to be from now on. I don't really know if I need to ask the runes that. I mean, Jade pretty much bailed, so... But I will see if I can't work that in some. But... I mean, Jade dumped her butt and ran. Good for her. Knight wants to know, will there be familial drama with Amber now living closer to her family? And will she share / exploit it on the YouTube for views? I mean, yeah. I don't know, though. The runes have not been very... they don't like her moving closer to her mom. That has been pretty clear the last few times I've done readings about that. Shelley Daly wants to know if there's a new girl, and they also had a different one. Would like to know whether Amber's attempts to form an adult relationship with her mom will be successful. So we do have a lot of questions about mom. And I think that's valid because we're 80 to 99% sure that she's living with her. She's not living with her mom, but she's in the same area. Smug and Smarmy wants to know if she'll ever be able to accept therapy. I think that's how you want the question. Like real honest to God therapy. Not like whatever she was calling therapy. The junior mint. But first off, I love junior mints. And secondly, I don't know. We can't see. They're Halloween themed ones, so they've got orange and black filling. They taste exactly the same. They're just cute. And also it's an excuse to eat junior mints. Halloween is like the one time... Halloween and Easter are the 2 times of the year where I'm just like, whatever. Candy, whatever. I do manage the rest of my diet, but I'm just like, it's 2 times out of the year. I'm not really that into like sweets for Christmas, but I will eat an occasional cookie. But for Christmas, I'm really more into like the food and pie. But it doesn't have to be a sweet pie. I like meat pies. All right, let's see. So, where's the thingy that I wanted? Here it is. Oh, good lord, it exploded. I'll look away for 2 seconds. All right, Knight made it. Cordelia made it. I love the way that's spelled. Yeah, Folder was like, I'm out. I love that Feline bought Amber pepper spray before she took off, though. That was pretty funny. Knight says, X to doubt accepting therapy. Not a member, but maybe who is Mystery Tennis? I don't know what that means, Midori. Sorry. Can you explain? Hale says, I wonder if Amberlynn will take Ozempic or if she sees her weight as her YouTube success. I don't know if she sees it as success, but she definitely sees it as her identity. Right, something's going to fall over. It's going to be a catastrophe, and it's going to be something. And then you all get to watch me scramble. Vamp, vamp. All right. I do have a new setup. I have no idea how well this is going to work. But we're going to give it a shot. I need a pointy thing. Nah, I got new nails. I have Halloween-themed nails on. We can use those for pointing. Let's see. This says we got 26 people in here. I'll give it 3 more minutes as per my clock, and then it'll be 7:45. That should be enough time for people to jump in, and then... Oh, at the grocery store? Yeah, I was confused about that. I was actually watching Alex's Shucks review on the way home, and when I watched the video the first time, I noticed that, you know, she silenced it at some point. And I was confused. I mean, it could have been anything. My initial thought was she silenced it because of copywritten music. She was, you know how she's always afraid that when she's in the store, she's going to get hit with copyright because of the music they play. But then Alex was pointing out that there were sneakers and that they were giving off female vibes. And it could have been her parent, her mom or her aunt, or it could have been the viewer that came up and said hi. I could see why she would want to mute both of those. I'm not entirely sure why she's trying to pretend like we don't all know that she's living with or living near her mom. I don't know if she views it as some kind of like regression, and so she doesn't want to share that with us because she doesn't want to look bad. But the other part of it is I feel like she thinks she's clever and she thinks she's hiding it from us. Because, I mean, remember how long she was like, no one lives in the house. No one's in the house with me. No one lives here. When, like, Feline was there the entire time and everyone was like, what, you suddenly got ghosts? Did you get a poltergeist? And I did notice that when the movers were moving the stuff in, remember when she got back from Target and her furniture was magically in the background? Someone or some group of people were moving around in the background, and one of them did kind of have a female voice. It could have still been Feline, because Feline hadn't left yet. And I swear I heard the dog too, so it probably was somebody taking the dog for a walk while the movers were moving stuff in. That seems to clock about right for Amber. And what was the other thing? Oh, and later on in the video, I don't remember exactly when it was, but it was after the Target haul. There was a shadow that moved across the wall. And you know how Amber uses the windows as lighting. So I was like, well, it could have been someone inside the house walking in front of the window and casting, or walking through the light source and casting a person-shaped shadow on the far wall. Or it could have been somebody walking past, or a car driving past the window, because you know she's on the first floor, and that could have disrupted the light as well. It was very vague, so I'm not going to speculate, but the evidence of someone else being in the apartment is pretty strong. So I don't think someone is living with her. I think she is living by herself currently. Will she stay that way? I don't know. Maybe someone else is moving in with her eventually. I don't know. But this is me speculating on the things that I saw. I have not seen this new video yet. And well, then the shoes probably did belong to whoever got her to the store, you guys. Because she totally walked. She drove herself. She teleported. And then teleported back with all of her groceries. So go ahead in the chat. Let me know if you want me to do the rune readings first. I figure I can cover everything in maybe 2, maybe 3 readings. Let me know if you want me to do the rune readings first, type 1, or if you want me to do the reaction first, type 2. So I'll give you guys a couple minutes on that one. Because we're going to get started now. I'm serious. Yeah. I had a thing I was going to put down, but I guess I'll just be careful. See how that works. Yeah. I got to get this thing set up anyway. Isn't there a way to... Oh, okay. All right, we'll do the reaction first. Iona wants a 1. Is it Nicolau or Nicolau? How do you say the last name that you've got up there, Iona? Because it looks fun. Runes were 1, guys. Runes were 1. Type 1. That's funny. Okay. Let's see. How can I condense some of these? We got therapy. We got mama. Got 2 for mama, 1 for therapy, and 2 that are basically about relationships. If there's a new girl or not. Therapy might have to be like squeezed in somewhere. More of a tie make the... Well, currently the reaction is winning from the 5 of you that have voted. There's like this little chart and it's got like data and I'm really into it because I love data. I love data. Ivan. Oh. Oh, cool. Yay. Oh, it's an E sound. Iwana. Ah. I always thought it was Io, no, like Io, the Greek goddess. I was wrong. Well, let's see. I'm playing with my stuff. All right, let's do the reaction. The video can't be more. It's like 11 minutes. We'll be fine. And then I'll toss the runes and get those. Yeah, well, then we'll get those. And then I'll break everything up and put it up as separate videos because that seems to be... People seem to like that last time. Oh. Shelly, quick, vote. 1 or 2. 1 being the runes, 2 being me doing the reaction. It's Romanian. Yeah. I think that's cool, though. Iwana. Or Awana. It's Awana. I know I'm saying it wrong. Again, I'm sorry. Nicolau. I'm impressed with like the yep, multicultural group in the chat. All right, Shelly wants a 1. All right, now we really do have a Amber's point. Now we really do have a tie. Crap. That was my own fault. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do 1 reading first. Then we'll watch the video. Then we'll do the second question after the video. I'm rethinking this. I'm rethinking this mostly because if I do the readings now, then I won't have been influenced by the video. That would be smarter, really. So, all right. Let me get the camera set up. I'm going to switch you guys over to the view for the view that is going to be for the rune reading. Hey, wow, there's an angle for you. Great. Do not fall. Every day I'm struggling. All right. Well, now we're upside down. Nope, nope, that's not working. Go the other way. Other way. Woo! Yay! You can see my hands. Sorry! I didn't mean for it to be cleavage cam. I didn't know it was doing that. Alright, listen. Can you see the runes? Where do these need to be? They need to be here. Okay. I'm not like Amber. I'm not going to lean into the camera just so you can see my miles of cleavage. Because A, I don't have miles of cleavage, and B, it's weird. That's for a different website. Okay. Runes and nails don't mix. There we go. Alright. So, I think I want to start with the whole family drama thing. So, I want to know... We're going to ask about... the family relationship now that Amber's there. and how that's going to be shown now. Now, this is it's not a gimbal. I don't even know what a gimbal is. Maybe it is a gimbal. Anyway, this is one of those thingies that like it's supposed to keep the camera steady even when you're moving. Is that a gimbal? Please ignore me. But anyway, my point is it's got like a little timer in it, and if it doesn't feel like it's doing something, it times out and it'll go back to its neutral position. If it does that, I'll reset the camera, but just forewarning, the viewfinder here might spin in a few minutes, or it might not. It might notice that it's actually doing something. I doubt it, but it might. So, all right. Let's see, what were we doing? Oh yeah. How's the family going to be? So we're going to focus on that and the mother and yeah. What's going on there? What are those relationships going to look like, and how's that going to work out? All right. I'm going to do it low here-ish. Hey! I was really worried those were going to, like, fly completely off the desk. All right. So, I'll bring some stuff in if the camera's not picking up on it, but you guys, you can't see anything again. It's like it doesn't want to be seen. And it's also like it's your only job. So I think I can bring that in just a tiny bit more. Nope, hang on. Okay. Alt. I did that so I could do that. I hope you guys can see that. Can you guys see the runes? Yes, it is a gimbal. Thank you, Knight. I don't feel like quite the idiot I think I am. Fly away. All right, I want to see where the extent of it is. So you guys can't see. You got this guy here. Okay, you guys can't see these two. All right. Skeet, skeet, skeet. Nope, still can't see him. Dang. Ah, crap. If I adjust this, it'll fall over. How far do I need to bring them in? Alright, just keep in mind that these two are like way over there. And there's nothing else over there. Can you see this one? Yes. We can see all of these. Alright, cool. Wunderbar. I can even move my mic in closer so I can be heard. Maybe. Alright, there we go. So, this question was family relationships, family drama, if things are going to, what's it going to look like? So, no, I just need to look for a minute. So, what have we got? Huh. This little cluster here, this is Haglas and this is Thurzaz, which are both, they're usually considered bad runes. Bad runes. Because they are, the Haglas rune, I always say, is kind of comparable to the Tower card in the tarot. I want you guys to be able to see my hands because I talk with them. So this one, so this is the Tower-ish card. Haglas is the hailstorm. It comes down, it demolishes everything in its wake, but then the ice, basically, the hailstones melt and it will fertilize the ground, basically. So it's like destroying things to make way for something better. So that's what this one, that's the poem. Someday I'll actually memorize it for you guys. Thurzaz is the thorn, and the concept of grabbing hold of something that is painful and holding on to it. So both of these are considered painful runes, but another interesting tidbit about Haglas is if you take the Elder Futhark and you break it up into 3 groups, they're called 8s because there's 8 of them. Actually, I don't know why, but that's why I say. The second 8 starts with Haglas, and it usually corresponds with the fall into winter runes. And actually, Haglaz's runic month will be starting in about 2 weeks, give or take a little bit. So Haglaz actually comes into play with the last little bit of October, going into November, time-wise. I just think that's interesting considering the timing currently of the reading. So that might be more of a time marker and less of a rune, but we will, like a definition type of rune, but we'll definitely keep it in mind when we do that. We have Ansu's all the way over here. Ansu's is divine inspiration, usually the written or spoken word. So, excuse me. We got this guy hanging out all the way over here. We've got the one I can never remember how to pronounce hanging out over here. This is the U. It talks about putting down roots and being a pillar of strength. It brings joy. Yew trees, bows made from yew were usually considered superior to bows not made of yew wood. So the yew was a very important tree in general for the Norse people. That's the story we're going with anyway. But the point is that this rune typically represents a support or a being the support of something. Or sustaining, because it also is sustaining fire in the hearth. So it's a home rune, but it's more of the person becoming the center of the home. It's a tongue. Don't distract me. All right, anyway. We had these two. This is Manaz. This one here is Manaz. You know what? You guys just don't get to see the runes. This is Manaz. Manaz represents man, and it's man in that the concept of humanity. The word man didn't mean male back in the day. It meant people. So that's actually why we have woman, and I forget what the male one was. Crap. Because there was actually another added onto man to distinguish between a male and a female. Anyway, we don't use it anymore, obviously. Peroth for me is both a gathering of knowledgeable peers. It's a peer group. Often it's a group that has more skill or information than the questioner. So this would be like going to see your counsel. You know, who are your counselors? You go see them. Manas represents individual people coming into your life, but it also says enjoy them while they're there because they will leave. That's how the circle of life works. Peroth also has a definition of birth, and with that concept of birth, there's a concept of like like randomness, the lottery, not knowing, because you know when you give birth to a new person or concept, but you don't know what that person's going to turn out to be. You don't know who that person's going to be yet. So there's this concept of mystery here also. Since we've got this associated with Manas, and it's kind of facing away from Manas. Remember, this was like way over here. It almost feels like it's talking about a group of people, or at least a person who is part of that group, who is going to be there but then leave. I mean, that's kind of the point. We've got Berkana over here. This little white blob over here. I'm so sorry about this. This is Berkana. Berkana is a rune of inner power. The verse actually says about the birch tree not creating seed, but yet still continues to grow. And actually somebody in my chat pointed out that the seeds of a birch tree actually look like leaves. And I was like, oh, well, that kind of explains the verse. They didn't realize they were looking at the leaves when they were looking. They didn't realize they were looking at seeds when they looked at leaves. So it looked like the birch tree never produced seed because it always looked like it was producing leaves. That makes sense. It doesn't change the definition of the rune. We have to run with it the way it was written. So this is kind of like a an inner power kind of a rune. So like you're like a glow up kind of a thing in the right situation, or even just kind of the idea that like, excuse me, you can muscle through something. You find that inner drive to get through something tough. And then you come out on the other side and you have grown from your own inward strength. It does imply that you have to have inward strength. So we've got Jira here, and Jira's pretty much dead center. We've got Jira to one side and we've got Ingaz on the other. Jira is the year, and it's basically you reap what you sow. It does say things about like the harvest is good when basically the gods provide, but there is that concept of if you don't do anything throughout the year, you're not going to get anything at the end of the year, obviously. You know, so you've got to plant seeds you got to plant your crops in order to reap the crops. Ingaz is this actually is a god. This represents the god Ing. And the god Ing is referred to as the hero. And he goes out ahead of pretty much everything. He goes out off on his own without any of his stuff or any people with him. And he just goes off and he kind of trailblazes and everyone follows after. And then we've got Isa over here. Isa is considered one of the winter runes along with Haglaz. So again, this is interesting just for the timing. It's interesting to me just for timing. But Isa is also lined up with Dagaz, and Dagaz is the day. The sun and day were two separate entities. So day was also a god, but this represents the actual day. The concept of like, not even the morning, just the time of the day that the sun is up, because night was a separate entity as well. And I don't think there's a rune for night. I could put one in, but there isn't one currently. So what I'm getting here, remember I said Theraz is grabbing hold of something painful. Theraz represents thorns. Haglaz represents a sudden catastrophic event that leads to something positive in theory. But remember that the farther out we get from the center, the more it's the outside world influencing, and the closer we get to the center, the more it is basically the querent. And we were talking about Amber and her family here in the very center. All right. So outward, we've got these catastrophic events that are typically would melt away, but since we're coming in, Haglaz is leading into Thuraz. That kind of tells me that like this catastrophic event actually leads towards, or it could be a sudden event. It doesn't have to be catastrophic, but this sudden event leads towards pain. And it's not necessarily self-inflicted, because you are warned not to lay down on the thorns, kind of implying that you can tell the thorns are there. So, you know, in a sudden event, I mean, Amber did kind of move quickly, and not in the best way, in my opinion. I wouldn't have done it the way she did it, but you know, whatever. The Manaz and the Parath, I feel like the Parath is actually representing like a group of older people to Amber, and I feel like this really is representing like her mom and her aunt and like that group. And then we've got this member of this group who just kind of like peels off later. I don't know. I know there's been problems between her and her aunt in the past. I know that her and her mom don't have like the tightest of relationships. This could be Amber, the Manaz rune, could be Amber trying to come into the group that's being represented by the Parath rune. And currently she's on the outside of it. So that could be what we're looking at here, is Amber moved closer because she's got this idea that she's going to be absorbed back into the family. And currently that's not happening. I still say this is a time marker. So I have a feeling like November-ish, early November, late October, so soon, we're going to see something happen here Will Amber tell us about it? I'm not entirely sure, because she will play her cards close when she wants to, especially if it's something that's not going along with the narrative she wants. So we may not see this happen, but I think there's going to be some kind of conflict between her and the family. I know her brother's in the same space, the same area too. These guys. I'm more interested in this cluster here with Dejira and the Ingaz. Ing kind of represents, as I said, a person, the god, but it can, when it's in an individualistic reading, it kind of represents somebody who's kind of going off on their own. And with the right kind of reading, you can be like, oh, you're doing something heroic, you're trailblazing, you're making your own path, and the rest will follow after. So go forward and be the fool. Go forward, be strong. Everything else will take care of itself. It can also be somebody who's unprepared, heading off into the world on their own. And since we've got the center's where my finger is, if you can tell. There's the center. Jira's kind of like the reap what you sow kind of thing, and Jira's over here. Now remember, those two are like a little farther off, but as far as like a grouping, we've got this outsidership within the family group. That's how I'm calling it. We've got this sudden, if not catastrophic event that's leading to something painful. And it's a reap what you sow kind of a situation. So I'm thinking this is saying something inevitable is going to happen. Something that could have maybe been well prepared better for. Or even this is something that, like, the seeds of this problem were planted a long time ago. And now they're finally coming around to fruition here. And that kind of leads into the Berkana, where it's like, this is an inward thing that's coming out. So normally I would read this as an individual, but it can be a group. And so since that's closing in with this grouping here, I'm thinking there's some kind of, no, this is me. This is a rune reading. All right. I'm thinking there's some kind of past family conflict that is still fairly painful for the group as a whole. It has something to do with Amber, because she's not the prodigal son coming home, even though they might be happy to have her there. Her presence isn't necessarily beneficial, I guess is what I'm saying. And whatever this conflict is something that's something that happened within the group, and it's something that's happened in the past that Amber's move home is going to be the catalyst for that coming back to the surface. My interpretation. We've got Isa and we've got Degaz over here. I'm not looking at the chat, by the way. Sorry if I'm missing things. Isa represents ice, and it's, a lot of people will interpret it as ice as a standstill and as a stasis, but the verse actually talks about ice being pretty and ice looking like diamonds, but it's ice. So I kind of interpret that as it being a mirage or an illusion, and you're being warned. It's like someone's offering you ice carved like diamonds. If you're not paying attention, you might be like, ooh, pretty, and not realize that your diamonds are going to melt. Degaz is a message. It is said to be the joy of man, the message from the gods. So it's a divine message, however you want to read that one. So what I'm getting here is, at some point, this is just me. At some point, someone in the family has basically followed their own way under the illusion that they're being called or pulled or guided there. And it's not really what's happening. So that might have something to do with the whole family thing. It's easy to point a finger at Amber because she's the one that broke away from the family earlier, but it doesn't necessarily have to be her. She could be walking back into a situation that probably isn't the healthiest. So, but whoever it is, really did just kind of go, see ya. And they were being led, or they were following a path that wasn't necessarily the right path, but it looked like it was at the time. So, and it could, since we've got this messaging thing here, I feel like they were coerced. Not, well, yeah, I mean, coerced. Someone says, hey, good fortune is this way. Come. And so they did. It's easy to say that's Amber. I'm just leaving it open that it could be somebody else. But the question was about Amber and her family. So I haven't addressed these two. This is Fihu. Fihu is money. It translates to cattle. Cattle in the idea of wealth, not as in look at my cow. It's more like look at my herd. And then Zwalu, Amber always gets Zwalu. I don't think there's been a reading that I've done actually yet about Amber that Zwalu hasn't come up, which is really fascinating because Zwalu is a rune. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. It's considered a victory rune. And it's directly attached to money. Fiu can also have like a charitable meaning to it, but it doesn't make sense in this context. So we're going with the bare bones definition of Fihu, which is wealth. And she always gets this victory rune. And I think that's because even though we all see Amber falling apart, her health's not getting any better, that kind of stuff. Her relationships don't last. She always comes out on top. Everybody's always like, she doesn't get as many views, so her money's not coming in as much, but she still makes plenty of money, even with the views. And I think somebody was looking at something the other day and her subs and her views have shot back up again with this whole moving storyline. So either she's getting better at playing the game, which, 10 years in the game, I would hope you got better at it. Or it's just, things just aren't changing for her, really. So she doesn't see a downside to it. She's coming out on top, especially, specifically financially. These two blobs off to the side here. This one being Anzu's, which is again the one about the divine word, like divine inspiration. It's like poetry. It's the poetic words that come from Odin, or it's specifically talking about the so in the Norse tradition, humans were given life by 3 gods, and each god gave them a different aspect of life, and Odin was the one that gave them the divine breath, which it's the thing that is what makes us tick according to this, but it's like inspiration and the ability to express that inspiration. That was more important than the other 2 gifts, which was like warmth and basically life. So there you go. Have fun with that one. But this is all the way out on the outskirts. And so is this whole concept of being a pillar and being the joy of the estate. So again, I'm saying Amber's not really coming back to this group as like the prodigal son. She was expecting to come back a hero, I think, or at least to a hero's welcome. I don't think that's what's happening. And I think that's going to eventually eat at her a little bit, because I would think it would do that to me. That would be an ego blow to me. So I'm just assuming it would be upsetting to her as well. Especially given that it's kind of in line with this group here, where it's like the person who went off on their own, following a false path with a false message attached to it. So that's what I'm thinking here. Basically what I'm getting, let me try to sum all this up without getting off on a tangent. Basically what I'm getting is there's some kind of family trauma or drama from the past that's been there for a while. Amber's return isn't going the way she necessarily wanted it to go within the family. I know people are wanting to know about Feline, but this is the family. Something Something swift is going to happen. It's going to be painful, and it's going to be because of something that's from within the group itself. There's an individual, probably Amber, who went off on their own a while ago. It's so close to the Jira rune. I don't see it not being Amber, but again, I could be wrong. For some reason, I'm really getting this feeling that it might actually be her brother, but again, you know, but this person went off on their own. They were chasing waterfalls, thinking they were going to go find something, or they were being guided towards something that wasn't actually there. And we've also got this financial, it's stability. It's financial stability more than anything. There's nothing wrong with her finances, but I really do think she was expecting to come back to like a hero's welcome, and I'm not seeing that here. So that could be a little ego. It could be a little bit of a bump to her ego. I'm just speculating on that one because Amber, you know, she doesn't really take rejection well. It's not really rejection. It's just not enthusiasm. Does that make sense? Anyway. So that's for the family and the mother. Yeah. I don't see any closeness here. I don't see a closeness coming up. So I think that does kind of answer the mother question, because I don't see any closeness with any of the family members whatsoever popping up here. This rune Berkana, if it had been closer, could represent motherhood, especially in association with the Parath rune, but it could not be further away without falling off of my desk. So I'm not going to call that one. And now I'm just telling you what I would say if I had saw certain combos, which I'm not seeing. So, let me catch up on the chat real quick before we go to the next one. And you can stare at the beautiful fuzzy picture of the white blob shapes. I gotta get better runes. I like these runes. They're just not good for the camera. I want to click, but I don't want to break. There we go. Yay. How far up were we? I will never catch up with this. I'm sorry. I must have been when I was adjusting the camera. Maybe Ambi and Mother working through previous. They could be, but I'm not seeing a good outcome to working. If they were working through trauma, I'm not seeing a good outcome of it. And I will ask a question later about possible therapy or help. Amber's got a lot of unsettled issues, yeah. No, Stevie Reeves, we're just doing the runes. There we go. Somebody already forged you. Sorry. I didn't look at I didn't try to look at this because I knew it would distract me while I was trying to do the reading, so. I do feel like she has nowhere else to go. Let's see. Shelley Daly says she's the problem child with nowhere else to go. I do feel like that's kind of an energy that's coming off of this, honestly. There's a lot of self-made problems here. So, this, yeah, 88 gifts. Yeah, this is going to be a difficult transition for them, yeah. Her. I default to they, them, just when I'm not paying attention to myself. Shelley Daly says Amber's family seems to be a stable unit while she's been out of it. Yeah, that might be part of it, because she's... If Manaz really is representing her, she's definitely the outs. Like, the rune basically has turned its back on her. That doesn't mean that it's always going to be that way. It's just like... I think for the foreseeable future, it will be. Just with that Haglaz rune there, and it being so close to Haglaz's runic month, it's just really hard to ignore that. I mean, maybe I should, but it's really hard to. Okay. Let's do the next one, which was the girlfriend question. So that one should be pretty quick, I think. Ah. a couple people asked what the relationship with her and Feline is, and if there was a new girl. I'm pretty sure I know the answer to both of those anyway, but, you know, I said I'd do this, so let's do it. There might be something surprising in here. So, not the new boo, but a new boo, and Feline. What? How did that end? Is there animosity there? Is there good feelings? Was she paid off? Did she at least get gas money? Is there a potential? I mean, there's always a potential, but... yeah, alright. Alright, well, you stay there then. Ah. Wow. Okay, well, there's a bunch of them over here that you guys can't see, but I'll drag them back into the center. I will perfect this setup. I swear to you, I will do that. So, let's see, what can't you... you can't see anything, jeez. Okay, so that's how spread out the runes are. Let me take the... let's take these off. So I can move things in. Excuse me. What can you see? All right, so you can see this is Gabo. Gabo is a rune of gifting, but not just like, here, happy birthday, have a present. It's it's the cycle of gifting. Like there's the old Germanic concept of gifting is I give you a gift and I expect something in return, usually something of the same value. So like if I give you a napkin, like as a gift, not just like, hey, can I have a napkin? That doesn't count. I have to give you intentionally the napkin. It's a napkin. You're like, cool, napkin, yay. So you sometime down the road give me a dish towel. You see that the kind of like thing? I don't know why I'm thinking of napkins and dish towels, but it can also be used as a form of manipulation, because if you give someone a gift that you know they're not capable of repaying you with, that's when it becomes a type of manipulation, because now it's like, oh, don't worry about it. You can pay me back at another time of my choosing, kind of a thing. It's the Godfather. So that's what this rune kind of is. And again, remember, this is a reading about the relationship with Feline and if there's a new boo or not. So I mean, that room pretty much says everything it needs to say. That was a bad relationship. I know it wasn't as one-sided as some people think it is, and I think that's even more evident now because Feline just left. Like, as soon as she could get away from Amber, she did. She was like, here's some pepper spray. I'm outie 5,000. So there's that. We've got this little cluster over here. We've got this rune, this blob. This is Nathus. Nathus is literally translates to need. It actually means the need fires that are set during certain solstices. Yes. Yes. I can't remember if the solstices or the equinoxes. Anyway, during certain celebrations, there would be a fire or sometimes two bonfires that were set, and the concept was as you passed between them or you passed near the bonfire, and the bonfire would cleanse you of the past year, the stuff from the past. And so it was a needful thing that you would pass through the fire, you would become cleansed for the next year, basically. And then at the end of the night, the community would come forward, pick up the embers of the need fires, and take that home to restart their hearths or to add to their hearths, because it was considered a sacred cleansing fire, and it was like New Year's, like a cleansing New Year. Anyway, the verse talks about how this can be a helpful rune if it's heated in time. Otherwise, something bad is going to happen. So Nathus for me always implies that something's looming on the horizon that you know is there. You could do something about it, and if you don't, it's going to be bad. So you're not walking... This isn't like Haglaz, where it's a sudden event that comes out of nowhere, and then hopefully there's a good ending to it. This is something that you're watching slowly come towards you. I always think of like... nah, I'm not going to go into that. It's morbid. Anyway, Next to it is Dagaz, which again, remember I said that represents the day itself, but it's like the divine message of a new day kind of a thing. But it's also the last rune in the Futhark line as we understand it. So it also represents endings. So there's that. And then I just mentioned Haglaz, but we've got Haglaz over here leading this trio. And a trio is very powerful when it comes to the runes because three is a magic number. And it was considered a very powerful number to the Norse. So give me 1 second. My nose itches. Don't look at me. So sorry. Anyway, so we do have, this is really interesting. So we've got this lurking knowledge of a bad situation on the horizon. We've got this rune that is basically the horizon. And then we've got Haglaz, which is suddenness with a happy ending normally. And I think that kind of, again, speaks for itself, especially with Feline basically dumping Amber and running. So I still say the breakup was mutual. But I do think it's something that needed to happen. And I think it was going to happen. I honestly, like, this doesn't have anything to do with insurance. This is my personal thing. I think Amber tried to pull a power move and Feline was like, okay. And I think that's what happened here. So for Amber, that was a very sudden stop. For Feline, it was I gotta get out of here. And Amber kind of just presented the perfect opportunity for her to bail. Let's see, we got this guy. Scoot these guys in. I'm just moving groupings in, by the way, because otherwise you guys can't even tell that there's blobs on this. I could just be making crap up. You don't know. So this again is the Ing, the god Ing. And then we've got Uruz, which is the Auruks. Again, I'm probably pronouncing all of this wrong. But the Auruks were like bulls on steroids. They're known for being really aggressive bulls. And they had these very long, very majestic horns. And they were prized for that. But they were also kind of one of those animals that you were just kind of like, oh, unless you can take that thing down in like one hit, do not go mess with it. So the Uruz rune usually represents like health and also like how much of a badass you think you are. It can also represent the need to defend something and defend it in a physical kind of a way, not like in a ideological kind of way. Now, Uruz is paired up with the English rune, which again can be someone who's like trailblazing and is just kind of like, see ya. Again, I don't really think this, I feel like this kind of speaks for itself. This is again another cluster of runes that's basically saying that like Feline was just done. Feline stood her ground and she left and she was like, what comes after me, but I need to go now. Ooh, shoot. Don't knock that over. Now, the stuff you can't see. Scoot. Everybody this way. All right, so this will be interesting to some of you because it's interesting to me. Remember I told you that this little stick is Isa, which it for me interprets into illusions. And then we've got Few, which again represents wealth. That's screaming pretty loud to me. There was an illusion of some kind of monetary something. And seeing that Few can also have the concept of charity or giving to those in need. But it can mean you're giving to people in need because you see that they're in need and you have more than you need, so you are more than comfortable handing it over to somebody else. And when you give in that sort of a way, you don't have control over it anymore. So it's like if I have $10 and I only need $5 and I give rando on the street $5, then I have given them the extra. I have no control over what they do with that $5. They can go off and buy booze. They can go off and buy food. They can go and invest it. It's their money now. Okay. But there's also this other side of Fihu where you are giving because you want it to look good. And that also usually comes with trying to control how that gift is used. And this is always monetary. This is always wealth and monetary related. So this illusion of basically a selfless person or a selfless giving paired up with Gabo, which going back, remember, is gifting, the cycle of gifting. I give you, you give me. But Gabo can be used in a manipulative way. I give you something, you can't pay me back, so now you owe me a favor, kind of a thing. Pair that up with this illusion of finances or illusion of altruism, charitableness. And then, gets better. We have Kenaz. Kenaz is literally enlightenment. It is, you know how on like schools and stuff, they'll have like that torch of enlightenment? That's Kenaz. It is the all illuminating lights. So I don't know if you really need me to interpret that one for you. So yeah. That, I think we understand what happened. I mean, I feel like this is kind of telling us what happened. Now, there's this guy. You can't see him. There he is. This is Tiwaz. Tiwaz is another one that represents a god, but Tiwaz also represents basically the North Star, the guiding star. And it says that if you follow Tiwaz, it will never leave you astray. Now, this is actually pointing into the mess, not away from the mess. And it was also the first rune to pop out of my hands. So I feel like this is kind of saying that, like, this was walked into. And I think that's why we have this pairing here that we're kind of over here. It was walked into kind of knowingly. And again, I've always said that about Feline. She sort of knew what she was getting into. It's not like she had any illusion of who Amber was. She watched Amber. She was in Amber's Instagram, that kind of a thing. She lived there with Becky. So, again, maybe there was an offer of some kind of financial support there that didn't turn out to be what it was supposed to be. Or there was a gift that was exchanged, or some concept of partnership, some concept of equality or partnership that Feline was walking into, and that's not what happened. And so Feline was like, I'm out. So that's what I'm seeing there. I don't see anything showing a new girlfriend whatsoever. I don't see a new person here at all. So my guess is whether Amber wants to be single or not, she's going to be single for a little while. So there's that. And how are we doing on time? Where's my pointer? Yeah, we're fine. All right. Let's do one quick one. Let's do the therapy one, just because it was didn't fit with any of the other ones. It's kind of its own question. Just want to make sure. No, come back here. Look, you are part of this group. You will cooperate with the group. Let's just do that one real fast. And that shouldn't be too difficult to interpret. Assuming I can come up with a good question. Is Amber ever going to have functional therapy? Will Amber ever accept and participate in functional therapy? All right, where can I? Hey! Trying to keep it tight so you can see most of them. And I think the only one you can't. Oh no, wait. Where are we at? Bop. See? This is Walu again. Every time. Every time. You can see that one. You can't see this one. He's more over here, really. Okay. Who else are we missing? You can see Bracano. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Who else? All right, you can actually see all of them for once. You can't tell what they are, but you can see them. Sorry. I have my eyes set on another set of runes that are actually much larger, so I'll have to cast them in a much different way, but I can make that work too. I like doing a full cast like this, but there's ways to do what they call spreads, which mimics tarot cards. And if I got larger runes where you could actually see the symbol on them better, I would have to do something like that just because casting them wouldn't be possible space-wise. But I feel like that's what I'm going to have to do just so you guys can see what's going on. Anyway, what have we got here real fast? All right, so we had Gabo all the way over here. It's not completely far away, but it was as far away as the cast allowed it to go. So it was pretty far away. We've got Thurazaz again. Remember, that's grabbing onto something painful, which, I mean, for Amber, that could be her past, like her childhood and everything. Clearly, she had a painful background. Zualu, I'm beginning to think that's Amber's rune, which is very interesting to me. Because there's not really a negative connotation for Zualu. I can twist it to be one, but really, it's the light at the end of the tunnel. It's everything dark is behind you. Only good things are in front of you, kind of a thing. And it's just very interesting that like every damn time I get that rune. And then over here we've got Wunjo, which Wunjo's only definition is joy. We've got Iwa, the other one I don't know how to pronounce. This one means horse. It represents, it's a journey rune, but it represents the vehicle of the journey, not the journey itself. There's a whole other rune for that, which she doesn't have out here. Again, we've got Jira, which again is the reap what you sow rune. We've got Uruz. Uruz can be standing up for yourself, being a badass, health, the need to defend. Kinaz is all the way over here. Remember, Kinaz is the rune of enlightenment, so it's like shining a light. Interestingly enough, Kinaz is kind of like pointing so that it's kind of like encompassing all of this. We've got Rakana over here by herself again. It's, again, that inner power kind of a rune. We've got Peroth and we've got Ingaz here, which I think is an interesting combination because, again, Perth can be a group of people, of knowledgeable, peer group of people. With Ingaz here, though, I'm beginning to think it's more of the, you're going to jump up on the table. Are you good? Don't knock the camera over. For the love of God. Do you see the camera? Don't knock it over. Come here. Sit in my lap. Sorry. Sit down. Good boy. I'm going to be the one that knocks over the drink. Sit. Can you behave? All right, anyway. With Ingaz and Peroth the way that they are, remember, Perth can have that double meaning of, like, not knowing... Whoa, crap. What are you doing? Dude. All right. I love you. I love you very, very much. I love you even more on the floor. All right. There's a mystery. There's an element of mystery there of not knowing who or what you're going to, who or what's there, you know, the concept of birth and the new person. So with Ingaz there, you know, kind of blazing away, this is like a rune of this is like a combo of self-discovery kind of a thing through guidance kind of a thing. Thank you. Thank you, Nicole. I saw that pop up. Thank you for that. Yes, he is very pretty. He knows it. Jerk face. So this is a positive rune reading for somebody seeking help and getting therapy. This is very positive, which surprises me because maybe whatever's going to happen with the family is going to send Amber into actual therapy, or maybe knowing that her family has dealt with their own demons, maybe they're going to insist that Amber does that as well. Because there's this give and take combined with this very painful grabbing hold of something, but her rune is the Zualu rune, which is coming out on top kind of a thing. So I think this might be the gift of therapy. We've got a journey. We've got the vehicle of the journey, which can sometimes represent the actual body. Like, I am my own vehicle. We've got the joy rune, and we've got reaping what you sow. So this journey if done correctly, could turn out very positive for her. We've got Uruz, which can mean health, but it's also like your badassery. And we've also got inner development over here, and they're kind of paralleling everybody. I'm kind of forcing that one, but still, it is kind of interesting that they're both there. And I think if she truly committed, like for real committed, I think she would do very well. And then we've got Kinaz over here, which is just kind of encompassing everything. And that's the knowledge. And she has that knowledge. So maybe she knows, or maybe it's being revealed to her, presented to her, that this is something she should really do. And it looks like it's very receptive. So I'm going to say if Amber did seek out and commit to real therapy, working with not like she's not working with a real therapist, but actually goes to meetings with the therapist, probably stays on whatever medication they prescribe to her, I think she would develop quite well. I think it would be a very positive, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a big proponent for this kind of stuff. This is very positive. It's going to be painful. It's going to hurt. It's definitely not going to be pleasant to go through. But, I mean, trauma never is it? That's what my therapist keeps telling me anyway. So yeah, that's I wasn't expecting that kind of a reading, honestly. That's pretty positive. All right, let's put these up. Say thank you, everybody. Bye. Thank God the cat didn't knock it all over the damn table. You want to come back? You want to come back and sit in my lap? Now there's nothing over here for you to knock off. So now he doesn't want to come over. Yeah. All right. All right. Now we must change avenues. Now we're going to do the reaction. What you all came here for. But give me a second to change screens so you guys don't have to watch it happen. Here we go. I'm going to put the camera up real fast. Just because I don't... I just don't want to risk it falling over if I don't need to. It's one of those action cameras. I just don't like dealing with shit falling over. Alright. Oh, you're supposed to be off. Stop it. Come back here. Well, that's fighting me. Alright, fine, be that way. It won't shut off. It's very interesting to me. It's like, no, I will be upright. Alright, what else do I need here? Alright, what I didn't check the, Again, Nicole, thank you for the super chat. He appreciates that. Let's see. Are we talking about Twink again? I should ask about the animals sometime. I know the animals are there because I saw Wasabi's tail. Which one's the not fluffy one? I saw the cat tail in the background and I heard the dog. So I know they're there. Let's see. Idiot gift. She said her love language was gifting. More like, yeah, I've always seen Amber's gifting as very toxic. Let's see. You guys can be mean, I guess. Just remember, if you sink to her level. Oh, so the morbid thing. Whenever I see Nathus, I always think of a heart attack. And the reason for that is, in my family, when the heart attacks were coming, there was always the knowledge that the heart attack was coming, and then there was always like the, it'll be fine shit, because my family's old. So it's just kind of one of those situations. You know you're having a heart attack. Why don't we go to the hospital? I don't want to go. So anyway, that's my morbid thought on that one. That's not everyone's experience. I'm just skimming these real fast. All right, we're going to, well, I need to react to this one way or the other, so y'all are welcome to stick around and watch me react to this. And I will pause occasionally to read comments so that we can all share in this together. And get this set up so that I can do it. See, is the sound coming through? Mine's coming through. No, I'm not done. I'm going to do a reaction now. So if you're here for the reaction, hello. If you were here for the rune readings, I am done. Check and make sure this.
Hello.
There we go. All right, cool. All right. I suppose I should say now is the chance to go to the bathroom and get yourself a drink of water, get a snack, what have you. I have junior mints. I have 4 left. So. Oh, is Nicole gonna? No, stay in chat. All right. So this is officially on my own. Come to Walmart with me. Let's unpack and kitchen tour vlog. Oh, we get to see the kitchen. More than just the cabinets. Ah, see? And there's the cat. There we go. So, I do wonder what is she wearing? See, this will be like an unfiltered one. This will be one that I haven't edited, so you'll hear all my dumb comments too. Like commenting on what the hell she's wearing. What is she wearing? Do I like it? I like the lace. I need to see the whole thing. But anyway, let's get going. Yay. Maybe. Let's do this. Switch. That'll work. Will it? No. No, it won't. Good. I just want the chat on this side. Okay. Want the chat here. Or you get to watch me be a boomer. Check it out. You can mock me for not knowing what the hell I'm doing. It's perfectly fine. Cool. That should settle that. All right, now let's start.
Hello. Welcome to a new vlog. So
Hi.
Today I have been a busy bee. I've been trying to unpack more. The internet is still not working here. So I had to call the internet company and they don't even know what's going on. So they're not even gonna be here.
How's the sound? Is she too loud? Can I turn it? Should I turn her down? Oh, the shot of her with her eye slit. No, though this one. This is Amber. Hello, Alexi. Hello, everyone I didn't get to say hello to when you came in. Oh. Chat box. Cool. All right. Someone says a smidgen down. Bring her down to a 3 should do her, I think.
Until a couple days from now, like in the morning,
yeah, okay.
To like figure it out. Let's get that figured out because oh my god, my nails are this happened so fast. If you guys ever see them like fixed, it's because I touch them up. I try to touch them up like every other day, but I really just don't have the time. And with all the unpacking I'm doing, like they just keep getting.
My nails are gorgeous because I just stuck them on, and they glow in the dark because they're Halloween. And this is why I wear fake nails, because I don't like painting them anymore.
Messed up. But anyways, so yeah, I hope when the internet people come, we can get this fixed because I'm trying to upload another vlog. Oh my god, it's taken over 3 hours this time with no Wi-Fi. It's taking forever. I'm really trying to upload more for you guys and film more.
I mean, my friend just moved from Rockford to outside of Chattanooga somewhere. They live on a mountain now. They're mountain folk now. Um, she just got her internet put in. Now, that's not my point. My point is that in the meantime, my friend was driving into Chattanooga to sit at McDonald's and or a timeshare, not timeshare, one of those group office things that you pay into just to use the internet because she works from home. My point being, like, you can't tell me there's not a freaking McDonald's or Panera somewhere in that area that she could go to and sit at and use the internet for the 45 minutes it'll take the video to upload. I mean, that's basically order lunch and sit there and eat, you know? And I know it's that fast because I do it myself. So, anyway.
But yeah, it's just been so stressful. This whole
wait, is it not
internet
good?
situation, the moving situation, the breakup, Feline going, like, I don't know how I'm holding up, but I'm holding. Okay, so I'm currently trying to get all of my kitchen stuff squared away because it is looking crazy in here. So I'm really focusing on kitchen.
How many measuring cups do you need? You don't bake. I'm very confused. I'm gonna adjust her again real fast. Somebody says she was really loud, and she is very loud to me. But I'm on this end, so things are different over here. Alright, so far we're watching her sort her measuring cups. She has quite a collection of very nondescript measuring cups. Oh, look, she's got like these built-in shelves. Oh, I love that. Oh, and you can see the little silver button. I love that that's one of the first things she takes out. That says something. I'm doing the background game now. Do I like this shirt? I don't. I like the lace. I don't like the fabric. I know you all care. But, I mean, look how slim her neck looks, though. She always loses her weight in her cheekbones and her jowls and her neck first. Or at least that's the part we get to see, because we don't usually get to see anything else. Wait. I hope I'm not talking down to you. Oh my god. All right, anyway.
Kitchen and living room. Trying to get that done. So I'm just looking at like my measuring cups. See, I haven't been showing any of like the unpacking process. I just don't know if it like interests people. I don't know. I've just been like,
what are we doing? Okay. I haven't shown you any of the unpacking process, but I'm going to sit here and have a 5-minute conversation with you while I sort and resort my measuring spoons and my measuring cups, which are clearly very important to me in this kitchen for all of the cooking that I don't do. So that's just weird. And as usual, we're not on a tripod. We're just balanced up against something. I like the light, though. I mean, it's a neat little light effect, I guess.
my brain has been just everywhere. I just got done having like a breakdown a little bit. I miss.
She's gonna start being Feline. That's what Nicole says. We're only gonna get to see. Hey, but we get to see from the shoulders down now. I mean, not full body shots, but at least shoulder shots. Yeah, I think without the pink flowers, I think it would be a little bit better. Oh yeah, you didn't. Yeah, I don't know. Do the filters? I don't know a lot about filters, guys. Hey, I'm streaming. Come stick your hand in over here. Actually, the joke's not funny anymore because Feline left. Hey, everybody. He didn't give me whatever mace spray and then dump my ass. Anyway.
It's Feline. I'm by myself. It's new. It's different. It's definitely not something I've ever experienced, but I'm gonna be okay.
Why did she spend 5 seconds? Like, she spent like a full minute organizing those gray ones. And now she's just gonna dump the black ones just straight into the drawer. And I don't know why that's bothering me as much as it is. Probably because I don't like it.
I know I am, because that is literally the only option. All right, so these are so big.
Everybody says hi. Yes. Do not believe them when they lie to you.
I don't know if they're gonna fit. I mean, yeah, they fit pretty good. Let me show you. So it fits pretty good. I would say so myself.
I kind of really like those oversized gray measuring cups. I know this completely has nothing to do with anything, but I actually really kind of like those. I do actually cook, and those look like they'd be really useful.
A little tour.
I like the gray.
So this is my dishes are in here. I don't have much, don't need much. Literally the only cups that I have. And then here is my pots and pans. So.
Okay,
And then in this one, I just have
I like these gray cabinets, I'm not gonna lie. I really like the way they look.
food, dog food, things like that. And then here I have some Tupperware. And I don't have anything in there yet.
That's what it is. I used to work a lot. Y'all know I did archaeology. And so with contract archaeology, basically you accept a job and you drive out to the job and they make you live out, well, they don't make you, but you live out of a hotel basically for the length of the job. And sometimes they were able to get us these like Homewood Suites kind of things where you have like a kitchenette that isn't functional, but it looks cute. But when you go into those hotel rooms, they'll have like very basic kitchen stuff. Like you will have a pot and you will have a pan, and you'll have like 3 mismatched forks and like 2 spoons that don't match the forks either, and there'll be like 2 glasses in the cabinet. I mean, it's very bare bones, very basic, very sterile. That's the vibe I'm getting off of this. Like, if you've ever lived out of a Homewood Suites sort of a situation where there's like the kitchenette thing, you kind of understand what I'm saying, but like, it's that kind of vibe. It's like, I know her stuff's not mismatched, but that level of sterile is very, I'm having flashbacks, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
And then this one, I just have like all my plastic containers that I use. I'm using a couple, so as I keep unpacking, I'll just...
Are those supposed to go in your refrigerator? I hope her refrigerator's a good size.
Grab the ones that I need. And then in this, I just have my little air fryer, which in the move, it got all chipped.
Oh no, you'll have to get rid of it now. It's completely non-functional. You totally couldn't go to the store, buy some gold paint, and fill it in. That would be impossible.
Which is so sad. Y'all, it is time for a snack break. This is the same beef jerky from...
Look, man, I like beef jerky, and I like the peppered beef jerky. I can't throw shade at this one. I do like this stuff.
My road trip here. I got some peppered beef jerky.
Oh, look who learned how to edit.
It was on my island. I forgot all about it, and I was like, oh my god, that actually sounds so good right now. So I'm gonna snack on some of that. Alrighty. Actually,
to be fair, I would have killed that whole bag too. I wouldn't have had leftovers to begin with, so.
Ate the rest of them. They were pretty freaking tasty, not gonna lie. Okay guys, so I'm currently at Walmart. I had to get something. Had to get some cat food, and this is the only kind that Wasabi can eat because everything else tears up his stomach. I'm looking at the purses.
Because you need more purses. Alright, place your bets now. Do we come home with the pink sparkly backpack or something else? Let's see. What are our other options?
Because that's just where I naturally gravitate towards.
She's looking at the black one.
I don't know. I never really cared for Walmart purses very much.
Why? They don't seem that. I mean, I don't shop at Walmart, but nothing. I mean, shade against Walmart. That's why I don't shop there, but I don't see anything wrong with them.
I don't know. It's just like, who would carry that?
Huh.
Not me.
Lexi says the type of finish on the cabinets is really hard to clean. Well, that's not good. Extended stay. Yeah, I've been at the extended stays too. Whatever's the cheapest hotel at the time, that's where they literally that's where they put us. They find the cheapest place to put us, and that's where we end up. My air fryer is my Instapot, so it has its own dedicated space because I air fry with it and I do other forms of cooking with it. If you don't have an Instapot with an air fry lid, highly recommend it. It will eliminate the majority of the stuff in your kitchen. We got gold, we got black, we got pink. Teflar purses? Or Telfar? What is a I know nothing. What is a Telfar purse?
Spoke too soon. I actually think this is adorable. Small, to the point. I'm almost tempted to get it.
Why? Look, man, I'm actually looking for a larger purse because I need it. I don't want a giant ass bag, but that purse is roughly the size of the purse that I currently have, which is adorable, but it doesn't hold anything. It barely holds my phone and my wallet. Where do I put my sunglasses and my chapstick, you guys? So I want a slightly larger bag that will actually hold all of those items.
$19. Not bad. All right, these are different.
Those are hideous.
There's pink, like a mint purple, and then
don't tell me she's gonna get one of these.
like this black one. It is kind of cute in a really weird way, but
they remind me of jelly shoes from like back when I was a kid. And then there's this crocheted monstrosity over here. Where's my pointer? There it is. I don't know who decided that crochet and granny squares needed to come back, but they were wrong. Very, very wrong, and they should feel bad. Now you know my stance on granny squares.
I think I'm just gonna stick to this cutie.
Are you real? Whoever put their money on black, there you go.
Trying on sunglasses.
I like those. Don't like
Absolutely not. Another big no. I don't think that I'm a sunglasses girly, but these ones are my favorite so far. Okay, so I just got back home.
I feel, call me crazy, I feel like she was kind of channeling glitter and lasers with the last pair of sunglasses. Just like that crazy, non-functional shape.
And I'm trying to think of what I want to do for dinner. I have no idea.
She needs a carry bag for like pepper spray.
Bacon and eggs, or...
Alright, she's got a pretty good sized refrigerator. I'm being very, like, nosy. I like the refrigerator. I've always wanted one like this. I think that's like the freezer to the side here. The side-by-side. I really like that. Mine is one of those old, like, refrigerators. Like, it has the teeny tiny freezer compartment and a very small regular compartment. We always have more food than we have space for, and it's really annoying. But, you know, first world problems. I don't know, it doesn't look too bad. There's the food she bought the other day. Of course, she's got those Amy's frozen meals. I don't know what that is. Probably one of her things. There's all the fresh stuff she bought, all piled together. Who keeps their tangerines in the refrigerator? I am going to make fun of you. I would make my teeth hurt, honestly. That's why I don't do it. But stainless fridge opens top and bottom. I just desperately want a side-by-side with that nice deep, like if I could get a side-by-side that was actually the refrigerator and then it had like that bottom deep freeze drawer. Oh, that'd be like a miracle. Nicole, yes. I mean, if this is either A, the same day, or B, the next day, it's understandable because she did say she went to dinner the same day she went shopping. So, it is possible that she didn't open any of it yet because she hasn't had to. She's eaten out. Citrus in the fridge. Thank you, Prez Hens. Thank you. Join the no refrigerating the fruit. The citrus. Frozen food for months. She really doesn't have that much in there. Considering some of her like epic food hauls, there's really not that much in here. I suppose if you took a tangerine and peeled it first and then froze it, it'd be like eating frozen grapes. I could get behind that. Freezer on the bottom, yeah.
Some meat. I have some tamales,
Thank
burritos, salmon. I have no idea.
When did she ever eat salmon? Doesn't she not like fish?
All right, so I decided on some pork chops. So I have those in the air fryer. This is my first dinner that I'm cooking by myself in my new apartment. I'm doing it. Y'all, I'm just sitting in my living room, eat my dinner, eat my pork chops, which came out beautifully.
She is so lonely. This is literally the only socializing she has right now. She doesn't have anyone else to talk to. I mean, I guess she could talk to the animals, but this is, you know, I always say that she has this parasocial relationship with her audience, and that we're her go-to, we're her friends, we're her therapists, we're her doctors. And this is definitely one of those moments where it's very evident to me that like she's bored, she has no one to talk to, so she's turning to her one true friend, which is the internet or the audience via the camera. So don't refrigerate bananas. Who said that? Shame on you. Unless you're freezing them to make like ice cream or chocolate dipped bananas with, and then that's acceptable. They're the thin cut pork chops though, man. I could probably eat those. The boneless thin ones. Matter of fact, that sounds really good right now. Okay. Yes. Give me the pork. Keep in mind she's not eating anything else besides the pork chops. It's not like she has like a side of rice and some vegetables. It was just the pork chops. I'm just reading this. Okay, here we go.
Because if you guys remember last time I did pork chops in the air fryer, I over seasoned them, but now I know how to not do that. Well, anyways, I'm just sitting here living by myself. I have no internet. I'm just in a new place, new surroundings. And it's just like, it really hit me that like, it's me, myself, and I. Like, this is my place. And I'm having a girl dinner. Oh, we're going to be having tons of those because earlier.
She is so bored. What did Nicole say? Thank you for the super chat. How much of a mind F do you... Oh, sorry. That I get you now. Do you think it is that all these people know about her day to day yet has no... Yeah. That's a really good point. I mean, we've been following her for 10 years. We probably are what a very close friend would be like a friend that you've had forever. So since you graduated high school, or college, I guess, in her, she didn't graduate, but you get my drift, you know. And I mean, we know everything that she's ever posted here. We know the majority of the crap that's gone on in her life. There are people who have done digging to find out even more, which is fascinating and also terrifying. But yeah, I mean, there's absolute strangers out here that know Amber better than the people in her life. And yet she can't talk with any of us because half of us won't talk to her and the other half are probably not really friendly. I don't know how a better way to put that one. I mean, what happened to the fan that she met in the grocery store that she exchanged numbers with? I mean, why not give them a call and be like, hey, bestie, you know? People say that still? I don't know. Prez Hens, your question, sir, madam, whoever you might be. I wonder if she knows she can set up a great hotspot with her iPhone since she has a Mac. That would require her to actually know how to use the damn Mac. She doesn't edit on the Mac either. So, she does look flushed in the face, but not in the crying kind of way. up there to read all of that?
Literally all I've had today was the beef jerky, which I showed you guys, and then before that I had a pepper jack like string cheese type deal. So it's like, yeah, I think it's also because I've just been like really freaking busy lately. So it's like I haven't even thought of eating. I think that's the reason why I'm just naturally.
Gee, imagine when you have something else to do around the house besides sit and eat, you might actually like do something besides sit around the house and eat. That's why people tell you to get a hobby, an actual hobby, not just collecting dumb shit.
Losing weight, which feels really good, might add. Okay, so now that I've ate,
now it's time for the animals to eat. Now that I have satiated my own needs, now it is time to see to those of the lesser.
A little bit left of cat food, but now I'm gonna fill up their cat food in the little cat food thingamajigger. This guy.
You know, I was actually kind of wondering if she had gotten rid of all the labeled containers, because we hadn't heard or seen anything about them in a minute, and then she bought all of that new laundry stuff and didn't show us her transporting the laundry stuff into the new containers. So I was kind of wondering what had happened to all these.
Right here. Need a pair of scissors.
Her and sharp objects just make me cringe.
Open it.
Do you not know how to use scissors?
Then we pour. It was that easy.
She's not even hard up for content, you guys. She's just bored. This isn't hard up for content, Lynn. This is bored out of her mind, doesn't know what to do, Lynn. Like, remember all those books she doesn't read? Now would be one of the greatest times to start reading a book. She may not have television, but she can watch stuff on her phone. You know, it's just like there's so many other things she could be doing, but she can't cope. So she's on her phone recording this. Don't get me wrong, she'd do this kind of crap anyway as like a filler content, but this doesn't give off filler vibes. This gives off I don't know what else to do with my time vibes.
And then the rest I'll just put away. And I do the same with Twinkie's food as well. Hello,
Well,
good morning. It is the next day.
It's Ariana Grande.
Today, my main focus is my closet, my bedroom, and then like my bathroom a little bit. Because yesterday I just worked and worked and worked on my kitchen and my living room.
I don't think I've ever gotten this dressed up to A, move, or B, rearrange my house.
So that's pretty much done. And since I have the internet people coming tomorrow, I don't want them to show up.
Foolish gal. Is she left-handed? That would kind of explain it, but also I don't think she knows how to use scissors. I always feed my animals first unless I'm starving. I was just trying to think about that because last night we got home really late and I was really hungry. And they have an automatic feeder, so I didn't feel like bad, but I always try to feed them first because then they leave me alone while I'm eating.
With boxes and stuff everywhere because they have to come through my bedroom. So I actually just wanted to give like a little tiny update on the pets because I've had people asking, which I totally get it. So when we first got here, Twinkie was totally fine, sniffing around. Rarity and Wasabi were terrified. Like they would not leave their little thing, which I still haven't put away yet.
I really like that thing, I'm not gonna lie. I would leave that out. I think the cats would enjoy it, just in general.
Just in case they want to go back in here.
They
would not leave.
You know, that actually explains quite a bit. Left-handed people are not in a bad way. Left-handed people are kind of special. So that's kind of interesting to know.
They were so scared. They wouldn't move. I was like, oh my God. So it was a couple hours later when they came out, but Wasabi went behind the washer and he was there for 5+ hours, terrified. Rarity was hiding behind boxes.
Okay. Before I get really ticked off here. When you move, specifically with cats, you don't just dump them into the new home and are like, sink or swim. You are supposed to integrate them into the house in stages because cats are cats and they don't take well to that. Most cats will not take well to that kind of a situation. And so you start them off in one room where they have all of the things that they need, the cat box, the food, their beds, that kind of stuff. So they can start associating that space as theirs, and then slowly, like over days, not hours, You slowly introduce them to other rooms of the house. You don't leave them there when you're not home. You know, you put them back in their safe zone when you're not home. And in general, you slowly introduce them to the larger space. You can just dump your animal and go, which I see a lot of people do, but it really causes this level of stress and fear in the animals, and it takes the animal longer to adjust. And this is also the times when you find cats especially will start peeing on things and marking, because A, they don't know what's what yet, and B, they're trying to, you know, mark shit. That's because that's what cats do. Even when you've had cats in homes where they didn't mark before, you'll move to a new location and they'll start peeing on the walls or stuff. It's probably because they've been introduced to the space too quickly. But there you go. That's just me moving with cats 8 times now. As I drool water all over myself. Very, very attractive.
Like, but it was that night when they both came out and started venturing around. So it's officially been 3 nights that we've been here, and they're totally fine. So here's some cute photos. Here's Rarity and Wasabi sleeping next to each other. I thought it was so cute. Well, laying next to each other. I thought it was super cute. And then here's this little shelf moment where Wasabi found himself a little spot. So I think
where Wasabi was desperately hiding. That is not a happy cat.
I'm gonna keep the shelf.
Also, please brush that damn cat. He looks so raggedy.
With nothing on it, so he can like lay on there if he wants to. I just thought it was so adorable. I currently am cooking in the air fryer, so if you hear that, but right now I'm just about to transfer my...
I'm going to take my eggs from the container in which they came and put them into the container for which I've bought for them. Because I like having my eggs in a hard surface so that if I were to drop it, they'd all be demolished in one go, as opposed to leaving them in the soft container in which they are shipped, ensuring the majority of them do not break. Also, might I point out, going back to my Amber doesn't buy generic. These are Eggland's Best eggs, and I know that because of the stamp. They're like, at least in the stores I go to, they are some of the most expensive eggs you can buy. Just pointing this out. I think it's pretentious.
Eggs into its little egg carton.
Ghoulish gal. The only time I've had my cats urinate on things is when I move. And they're not adjusted yet, and they will pee on everything because they don't know what they can and can't pee on yet, and also they're trying to establish territory. All I can think of this scene right now is that Justine's going to be absolutely ecstatic to watch Amber move things from one container and put them into another. So now I can't wait for Kicking Geese to watch this so I can watch her watch Amber move stuff from one container to another. I'm already laughing. Oh my god.
Ta-da! There's a little lid. I much prefer my eggs in that guy. It just looks so cute. Come on now. So okay. I just got back from taking a little twink on a walk.
That I totally couldn't have recorded myself doing because reasons.
But on the walk I've discovered like I'm gonna have to like create a whole new route for her, because back where we used to live, like we had our route that we took every day, multiple times a day, and now it's like, oh, we have to create something new. So that's gonna be interesting.
Kind of implying that you somehow can do the old routine? Nicole, thank you for the super chat. I feel like this was just for her to be repetitively annoying with organizing and repeat the word eggs. You know what could have made that scene better? So if she'd been like 1 egg, 2 egg, 3 egg, all the way to 12. I'm sorry, I shouldn't suggest these kind of things because she'll do it. Night. Look, okay, I get why some people have an egg container because, like, I have a friend who raises chickens. Obviously, those chickens don't come with egg containers, so I get that part. But, like, I guess I'm just so lowbrow that I just always keep my eggs in the container they come in. I guess I don't know. Maybe I'm just like cheap. I don't know. Maybe I'm the one in the wrong. That's entirely possible.
For her and for me, this Twinkie is not the one that like you take her to one spot and then she goes potty. No, she has to like walk for at least 10 minutes, several different spots. That's just what she does. But yeah, right now I'm just making
Nicole is savage. Dang.
some pork chops again because I had a few left over that I did not cook last night. If you guys remember, that's what I had. They were just so tasty and I'm craving protein. So right after I eat,
Nicole says, bold of you to assume Amber can count to 12. I mean, she's got 10 fingers. She can at least get that high. I mean, how hard is it to add 2?
going to go into my closet. That is going to be even more of a focus than my bedroom because I still have so many boxes with clothing in them. And I'm trying to take all of the boxes to recycling. And pretty much all of them are in recycling, besides the ones with my clothes and the ones with my purses. I am just massively overwhelmed with all my clothing.
Chaos! Could you not open? Is this how the boxes fold? Before I go in on her for about the damn boxes. Is this how they're supposed to fold? I didn't use these when I moved. I just took my stuff and folded it and put it in a box. Unless I was using it to pack dishes or something breakable.
So I have...
Yes. Yes. Maybe? I'm looking at the lid of the box. Sorry, I have to... Okay, maybe this is how it was supposed to do. It bothers me that she and I have the same coat hangers. I mean, it makes sense. They're good coat hangers. Clothing hangers. But, I don't know. It irritates me a little bit.
I have these 2 big guys. Then I have my suitcase that I've made a complete disaster.
Why do you even have clothes? Why don't you just have large bolts of cloth that you just wrap around yourself occasionally? Because that's how you're treating your stuff. It's just like it's absolute garbage. I don't even treat my clothes as bad.
Wasabi's chilling in it. Isn't he the sweetest little guy you've ever seen in your life? Like, look at that. And then I have this other one.
Alexi has a good point there. That's interesting. Where are you that the eggs were sold on a flat? Because that's kind of cool. And also I know that people in here are like from all over the damn place, so... But I just go to the grocery store, and the grocery store has cartons. I just buy the cartons. I'm sorry. I'm basic. I don't know what that is. I'm uncultured.
And we're in the move. Y'all, it got so messed up. Like everything is literally stuck. Like it is the craziest thing. So
you guys hear Twinkie growling in the background?
It's gonna be super freaking hard for me to get my clothes out of this. This one's gonna be not very fun. So I've actually, before the move, I got rid of my...
Nothing? Like 8 items that you showed us?
God. 50% of my clothes.
I don't believe that.
Look how messy, look how much more I still have to do. Cool. But even though I've gotten rid of a bunch of stuff, like a bunch of clothing, I am still going to, before...
My dirty clothes went into a garbage bag because I was too lazy to do a load of laundry before I left. Last time we moved. But my regular clothes, I either use those as packing material or I put them in a box. I don't know. Night. This is going to be fun watching her try to be functional. Like, look at her face right now. She's like looking, she's gazing at this box. She has no idea what she's going to do. She's very put out. Like, I don't think she really understood. I keep saying this, but I don't think she understands how much energy it takes to take care of her. Because she's always had someone within hollering distance that she could just call over to do whatever. I mean, remember all the time she's organized the kitchen and the bathroom over and over and over again, especially the kitchen. She would always have Becky or Feline come in and take everything out of the cabinets for her so she could then put them back. So the hard work is taking everything out and putting it someplace where it can then be gotten to. Putting it back really isn't the hard part, not in my opinion anyway. So
she's already, and I don't for a minute believe she packed this herself. So she now has to unpack all of her own crap herself, unless her mom or her aunt comes over to help, which doesn't look like that's what's happening right this second. Because it doesn't appear to be anybody else in the house. So, excuse me. So it's just, she gets to find out what it's like to have to do shit for yourself. And it's a lot.
Or I hang any piece of article of clothing, I have to really sit there and decide, do I want this? Do I need this? So here's number one. I'm so bored. This is a Betsy Johnson
Wait, so now she's going to get rid of clothes again? And I hate Betsy Johnson stuff. I'm sorry. I know people like it, obviously, but I am not a fan of Betsy Johnson stuff.
shirt. I think it's so adorable, but I've only worn it a few times. I think to make my space as peaceful as possible, I need to only keep clothing that I know in my heart that I'm going to wear. And
Then get rid of everything that's in the boxes and just live off of what's in your suitcase. Oh. I had to read the whole thing first. Thank you for the super chat, Nicole. She's finally feeling the weight of her body. Yeah, remember when she was like, oh my god, my feet hurt because I've been walking all day and I'm not used to that? That was like last video. And everyone was like, yes, you're like 600 pounds, give or take. Well, actually close to 500 now. But still. And then the rest of it is, and Nicole says, I have no hope though. P.S. Hit the like, guys. Yes, please hit the like. I forget that you can like these things. And P.S.S. Do we really think she walked Twinkie? I don't have a reason not to believe that she didn't walk Twinkie. I just wish she would film it. I don't honestly understand why she's pretending like we don't know where she is. And I don't know why she's trying so hard to keep it a secret from people who just watch her videos. Because if you only watch the videos, and I assume only follow Instagram, her Instagram, no one else's, you probably don't know exactly where she is. But I know that through the grapevine, I know that someone has already located the apartment that she is in, which is creepy, but does confirm that she's exactly where we all thought she was going. You know, it's that level of things. It's just like, I don't, just tell everybody you're in Oklahoma. Just tell people you moved closer to your mom. It's not like we care. You know, it's not like she's going to get bad press or something. I mean, people just want to know where she is. I mean, yeah, there's probably a couple people who are going to be like, whatever. But where else was she going to go? Alaska? Who had that one? Somebody was like, she's moving to Alaska. Like, I'd like to see that.
enjoy. And this is not one. So I'm going to keep this process up.
Disliking does help the algorithm, so I'm not mad when people dislike my stuff. YouTube doesn't care. Why should I?
And then I will show you guys my progress in a little bit.
Yay.
All right, you guys. So here are my like jackets, cardigans, sweaters.
Hey, she kept the sweater I like. Yay. She never wears it, but she kept it. It's this, for those of you who care. I don't know why, but I love this thing. It's the colors. She never wears it. I've never seen her wear it.
Really long, like maxi dresses, under type shirts, just like t-shirts. And then across the way over here, we have all of my dresses. And these are the clothes that I'm actually going to get rid of.
That's 50% of her clothing, you guys. That's 50% of her clothing laying right. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry.
It's just so crazy, like, looking at this pile, like,
and realizing that's like a quarter of my own closet. You barely pulled anything out. 50% of what? Where are you considering 50%?
like, am I just getting rid of majority of my color? I feel like majority of my clothing is darker.
Yeah, 88 gifts. Kiwi Farms and Reddit. They're too much for me. They're just too much for me. I can't do it. I know people have been like, go to the farms. They have all this information. I'm like, I'm good. Yes, we are continuing, Ghoulish Gal, we are continuing with the closet clear out. Midori Gale. Amber going with the everything her money touched is a proud treasure. Kind of. The item itself has no value to her. This is my analysis. Like the dresses have no value individually, but the fact that she has the dress and she purchased the dress, that has value. Like with her oh, for the love of God, I just said I didn't like the designer. Anyway, that I'm so bored t-shirt. That designer did a bunch of stuff with Torrid, and I think Amber literally bought every item in that collab. And in my opinion, they are all hideous. But it was a very popular collab. And the designer is actually very popular as well. The You very rarely see Amber wear pieces, Betsy something or other. You very rarely see Amber wear those pieces that she owns. But owning those pieces is the important part, because now she owns pieces by a designer, by a famous designer. You know, it doesn't matter that she's never going to wear any of it. The act of owning the thing is the important thing. Anyway. She has no style. Like, I don't mean that in like, oh my God. I mean, like, she doesn't have an aesthetic, I guess, is where I'm going with that. Like, I have like two that I go between. Like right now in the cold months, I go towards like the dark academia kind of like mid-century steampunk kind of a look, because I just like that. I love plaid skirts and I like vests and I like the floofy and the foo-foo. I like that. So that's what I go for when I buy stuff. And then in the spring, I like things that are lighter, and so I kind of go for more of like I guess like a K-drama look. I don't have a better way of describing it, but very light, flowy fabrics, you know, flattering cuts, that kind of stuff, but lighter materials that don't look like academia, whatever. I mean, they're very two distinct styles. But that's my thing. So I don't buy pieces, even if I like it, I don't buy pieces that are outside of those two styles unless it's something that I really, really like, or I know I'm gonna wear someplace or some places multiple times. Amber just kind of buys stuff. You know, she just Betsy Johnson. There we go. She just bought all the Betsy Johnson stuff because it was Betsy Johnson. You know, there's probably the only thing I see her reliably buy is stuff that says Barbie on it. She has always, even before the Barbie movie, she's always been a Barbie girl. That's the only thing I can really say that she like zeroes in on, but for the most part, her colors are all over the place. She's not as bad as Glitter and Lasers. I will give her that. I don't know what the hell goes through Anna's head when she buys some of that clothes, the majority of the clothes that she buys, but I don't know what she's thinking. Amber's not that bad, but her style is all over the place. Like, she doesn't have a style. Anyway, things that are basically irrelevant.
I don't know. I kind of just like darker clothing on me.
No,
Wasabi was laying here. And now he's gonna lay back.
he's hiding. He's scared. Poor baby.
So it looks like he found himself another spot.
Did we all notice the wad of clothing under the dresses that was still laying there that Wasabi was laying on? I hate this. Just say, okay, bye, thanks. It's not gonna kill you. It takes 2 seconds. Alright, let's we don't go look at that anymore. You just want to stare at my face now. Oh, and then like, okay, Halloween's its own thing, okay? I wear these dresses when pumpkin spice first comes out, and I will wear them until the day before Thanksgiving. That is the allowed amount of time for spooky time. That's a whole other, that's its own thing. It's the only time I wear my spooky dresses and my spooky t-shirts. Let's see. Where was I? Alexi says, didn't she just spend 3 months doing this whole thing? Yes. And we're going to do it again, damn it. Shelley Daly, why did she move stuff only to donate it? Because she never... Here's my theory. Amber didn't pack. Amber showed us those little bitty bits of packing, got bored with it, probably got overwhelmed with it, to be perfectly honest. And you know, when you get overwhelmed with things, you don't want to deal with it because it overwhelms you. I imagine that's probably what happened, and that's why we didn't get to see the resolution of the great closet clean out where we dumped 50% of our closet. Okay. So why she moved all this stuff only to donate it? Because now, she didn't do it the first time, and now she has to deal with it. So everything that she gets rid of now is one less thing she has to keep track of and deal with. 88 gifts. I'm sorry. See, I want to adopt. I don't want to have biological children. I can't. I want to adopt, but I'm always worried about, is it just going to screw the kid up more? Am I actually doing something decent? Like, I just kind of want to like raise a person and be like, look, I helped make a person. But at the same time, I don't want to like screw somebody up. I mean, it's going to happen. There's a certain level of screwing somebody up that I'm not sure I'm willing to do. Anyway. And then the Kiwi Farms is toxic. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. All right, let's see. Where are we? I wish she would at least organize the closet, Nicole. That's the one thing Amber never really organizes. How are those clothes getting dropped off? Well, the movers did come in, and movers will put things where you tell them to put them if you're there when they drop your stuff off. Or if you have it labeled, they'll move it into the room it's supposed to be in. I know this from experience. I mean, if you get good movers, which apparently these were like the saints of all movers, so. The farms are a special place. 88 Gift says, I'd rather she opened up her Depop and made... You know, here's the thing with Amber selling things. Every time she tries to do that, I really do feel like people sabotage it. I really do. She tries really hard. In Amber's world, she tries really hard. Granted, it's half-assing it for everyone else, but... And she gets nothing but negative backlash from it. Oh wow, I'm fading away. And so then she just stops, and I don't blame her. If I got that much negative feedback from doing things, I would stop too. I mean, Zachary Michael with the earrings thing and the Zachary Michael and that shit. And then there was another podcast-ish kind of reaction channel that I was watching. God, who were they? They were two girls who were also anthropologists. So I was kind of like, oh, that's cool. And it turned out that they were just like trolls. And they just ordered some of her stuff just so they could sit online and bitch about it. And I'm just like, anyway, don't buy her stuff if you don't like it. Let's see. Toddler grandmother aesthetic. Is that her style? Because, yeah, kind of. Betsy Johnson. To Dana. Dana doesn't even fit any of these clothes anymore, from my understanding. Where'd it go? It jumped. No. Where'd it go? Alexi says, I wear mostly 1930s/40s clothing. Yeah, I went through a phase of that. It's really cool. I don't know. It just didn't stick with me. I still like the way it looks, though. I love the way it looks. It just didn't stick. Edgy librarian kind garden teacher. Amber as a librarian. That could be a thing. That would be a good job for her, actually. Polo Quack. I do not have my name out there, no. Why did I say it? I probably did. Nicole Y, such a generous queen. Oh, yeah. What goodwill is she gonna dump this crap off at now? You guys can just call me Tiny. It's fine. I'm not hard to find if you really want to dig. It's not that deep. It's just I'm not ready to like I'm just not ready to put my name out there just yet. Like I said, it's not that hard to find me. It's just I'm not ready to say it out loud yet. Yes, thank you. 88 gifts. Her passive aggressive ending the video. Seriously, I can always tell when she's mad at the audience because there is no end to the videos. She just stops. And we might get an end screen. Maybe. Thank you, Nicole. This is one of my favorites, too. This one, well, I only have the ones I like now. This one, the green one, the orange dress, and I have a black one that's kind of like a rockabilly dress that has cherries, but the cherries are actually little skulls. I do wear that one all year long. Ah, man, I really tried to do the cottagecore thing, but I kept swerving back into the dark academia. So I do have some poofy cottagecore style like spring dresses. I might start tailoring, because I know you all care. I might start tailoring my spring and summer wardrobe to be more cottagecore. Oh, dude, if I could get my hair to stick up like that, that'd be fabulous for the hocus pocus look. It'd be funny. Let's see what else. I say a lot, I'm sorry. I'll parent to the best of my ability, but I'm also fully aware that all parents do is like keep you from dying and screw you up for later. But that's why therapists have jobs. My usual stream schedule is sporadically, but almost always on Thursdays. I don't think I've streamed a day that wasn't Thursday. And that's because that's the night my partner goes out with friends. And so I have the house to myself. So I am guaranteed a mostly uninterrupted stream. Nothing against him or anything. It's just, you know, it's kind of embarrassing sometimes. Like right now, I know I'm talking to people, but usually I'm just like screaming at the screen about a 600-pound woman. And it's just kind of weird. Also, he has no interest in any of this. Have you heard of the ankle? What is the ankle? Someone tell me about this. I missed this. Is that a channel? Nicole. Yes, that is her passive aggressive. The kissy lips things is often used as a passive aggressive way with her. It's her signature move. Bye, Lexi. Bye, everybody who's bailing. Yeah, I'm pretty much gonna wrap up here. This is about how long I kind of wanted to end around 9:30, but this is fine. I'm getting better about this. So the ankle is a guy reactor. There's not enough guy reactors that aren't just, in my opinion, just absolute jerks. Very enjoyable. I'll have to look him up. I'm here for a new reactor. I like watching Shaun of Steel react to Amber because he's so out of the loop. And then he reacts to her and he has no idea what's going on. And he's completely baffled by everything. And every time he does it, I'm just like, oh no, wait, you don't understand. And I'm like, I want to explain it to you. And then I wait for him to have the realization himself. And he's just like, oh my God. But anyway. Aggressively funny. I can do that. I like that kind of stuff. All right. It is 9:45 here in my time. I'm not entirely sure what time it is everywhere else, but I'm going to go. I need to have something before I go to bed. And thank you all for showing up. I really appreciate it. I love reading the comment section and the stuff that you guys say. I really truly appreciate it. I hope everybody enjoyed the I hope everybody enjoyed the rune readings and the reaction. I will timestamp this for people who want to watch the whole thing, but I'm going to pull the readings and the reaction out and put them in their own separate videos and I'm fading away. I see that people seem to like that, so I'm just going to keep doing it. Also, free videos. I do like Orko. I've been a fan of his for a while. He's funny. I love when he goes in and he's like Twinkie's like an embedded agent for him or something. This is like, I need to get out of here. I was like, I can totally see that happening. I want to meet Shaun of Steel. He does seem like a sweetheart, and he's in New England somewhere. Where was he exactly? He's not far from here. I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm near Philly. So I'm also trying to like find Alex because I know he's around here somewhere too. But yeah, the New England tribe here. Justine's not far from where I am because I have an idea of where she's at. But I'm not going to be like that weird creeper who like does the digging and then shows up one day like, hey, bestie, let's go hang out. That would just be too much. Oh, thank you, Nicole. I really appreciate you guys being here. I really am going to go, though, because otherwise I'm just going to keep rambling. So thank you, everybody, for showing up. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so. And like I said, I will have this timestamped for people who are watching afterwards. And I guess if you're watching this on the replay, put a... I don't know. What kind of emoji are we going to use? Cat? No, I use cat a lot. Oh my god, what kind of emoji should we put in there? Oh yeah, the East Coast. We got a lot of people here. That would be kind of cool to do, though. Dash to Justine. I live too far away to dash for her. She's in Jersey. I'm not. I'm on the right side of the river. Oh, there we go. Let's just put a blue colored emoji. And blue anything down in the comment section if you've made it this far and you're watching on the replay. And don't forget to leave a comment. Thank you again to my subscribers. Thank you to my members for the good questions. And yeah, thank you everybody who showed up for the stream. Wonderful time. I enjoyed it all. And I'll see everybody later. Bye. How do I stop this? There we go.